The chamber of the Galactic Council was a striking display of the universe's varied life forms, teeming with envoys from numerous advanced species. The air buzzed with anticipation and skepticism. Today marked the beginning of the Extinction Protocol, a daring initiative to gauge the adaptability and cooperation of the galaxy's most sophisticated civilizations. The consequences were monumental. Each species had to demonstrate their capability to endure and innovate in the face of grave risks. Among them, humanity was the least experienced, often viewed with subtle condescension by the older, more established races. In contrast to the Kroth, whose reptilian intelligence and genetic advancements endowed them with exceptional analytical abilities, or the Eeler, whose crystalline forms manipulated energy effortlessly, humans possessed no singular exceptional trait. They were neither the swiftest, nor the strongest, nor the most intellectually gifted. Their own notable achievements were modest when compared to civilizations that had flourished for eons. Yet there they were, eager to prove themselves worthy on this formidable stage. The conditions of the challenge were simple yet rigorous. Each species would be isolated in a biome that simulated their home environment but lacked their usual comforts, facing a series of intensifying trials. These massive domed arenas would test their resourcefulness and endurance, with limited resources and harsh environmental factors, and assess their ability to work both within their group and with others. The overseeing arbiter would evaluate each participant on their inventiveness, endurance, and cooperation, aiming not just for survival, but to showcase essential qualities for the galaxy's future. As Commander Caroline Vasquez and her team of human representatives entered the council chamber, a quiet descended. With her composed stride and seasoned presence, Caroline, known for her ability to remain poised during crises, conveyed a firm confidence in her team's capabilities. Accompanying her were her hand-picked experts: Dr. Malik Arjun, renowned for his innovations in sustainable energy; Sarah Kinley, a biologist known for discovering life in extreme conditions; Mason Crow, a strategist with a knack for deciphering complex patterns; and a cadre of engineers, medical professionals, and survival experts. The other groups barely hid their skepticism, with some dismissive murmurs echoing around them. A Kroth delegate scoffed quietly, his scaled digits drumming a steady beat on his chair. A mere day, he whispered, deriding the human reliance on simple technology and instinctive reactions rather than strategic precision. Transported to their unique test environment after the orientation, the humans emerged from the sparkling teleportation field onto a barren yet strangely familiar terrain, stepping into a world both unknown and reminiscent of their own. The horizon was obscured by a somber gray veil, thick with swirling ash and a pungent, metallic tang tinged with a burning undertone. The earth was barren, fractured underfoot, scattered with the decaying remnants of a city that once thrived. Warped steel and fragmented concrete stood as bleak memorials to a bygone civilization. In the distance, columns of smoke spiraled from the earth's cracks, while the ominous murmur of the ground hinted at deep-seated instability. Their equipment was basic yet vital: a box containing rudimentary tools, a compact water purifier, an emergency medical kit, and a supply of food rations calculated to last a week under strict rationing. This sparse provision was by design, a test of their resourcefulness in dire circumstances. Without hesitation, Caroline took the helm, swiftly delegating tasks. Arjun examined the water purifier for optimal performance, while Sarah ventured out to scout any potential food or medicinal plants. Mason began to survey the area for dangers and resources. The others set up a makeshift base in the shadow of a toppled skyscraper. Their first test came swiftly. The sky grew ominously dark as a powerful wind began to stir, lifting clouds of sand and ash. The impersonal voice of the arbiter resonated through the area, warning of an approaching sandstorm of unparalleled intensity, giving them less than 3 hours to prepare. "We can't escape it," Mason noted with grim acceptance. "And there's no safe haven to flee to." Sarah looked concerned. "This storm will carry toxic particles. Any exposure, even brief, could be lethal. What are our options?" Caroline's voice remained composed, focused. Mason pointed to a spot on his improvised map. "There's a subway entrance nearby. If we can clear the entrance, it could offer some shelter." "That's a start," Caroline acknowledged. "But we need to address the air quality." "The purifier isn't built for airborne toxins," Sarah replied, "but I can try to adapt it. If we gather enough materials, perhaps from old vents or machines, it could work." "Then let's get moving," Caroline commanded. Split into groups, Mason's team tackled the subway entrance, shifting debris and shoring up the structure. Simultaneously, Sarah and Arjun scoured the ruins for components to enhance the air purifier. The labor was intense, the looming deadline palpable. As they finalized their preparations, the storm's initial blasts whipped through the desolate cityscape. They retreated to the subway, where the jury-rigged purifier, connected to a network of makeshift filters, began to operate, faintly humming as it cleansed the toxic air. Together, in the dim light of their lamps, they waited out the storm's fury, a testament to their determination and teamwork. Emerging afterward, they found a transformed environment. The storm had exposed new dangers, cracks emitting noxious gases and a residual scent of sulfur hung in the air. They regrouped, ready to evaluate their new situation and continue their relentless pursuit of survival, buoyed by a shared sense of hard-earned achievement against the odds. The rest of you prepare to move out. The collective spirit of the team was evident as they organized themselves efficiently, spurred on by the gravity of their situation but encouraged by their initial success. In the observation chamber, the council members observed with a mixture of admiration and concern. The resilience of the humans had already shifted some perspectives among the seasoned galactic representatives. This unforeseen display of adaptability was a subtle reminder of the underappreciated qualities that humanity brought to the interstellar table. Back in the biome, Caroline and her team were setting a brisk pace. They had to traverse a landscape that was now more perilous than ever. The ground beneath their feet was a patchwork of unstable earth and newly formed cracks, emitting hazardous gases. As they moved, Mason continued to scan the terrain, identifying safe paths and potential dangers. His handheld scanner beeped intermittently, a constant reminder of the lurking threats. Upon finding a promising area on higher, more stable ground, Mason signaled the team. It was a rugged, elevated area that offered a strategic advantage over the surrounding terrain. The team convened to discuss their next steps. "We establish our new base here," Caroline decided, looking over the area. "It's defensible, and with some modifications, we can set up a more permanent camp." The team nodded in agreement and immediately began work on fortifying their new site. Sarah and Arjun joined Caroline, bringing their preliminary findings on the local vegetation. "We've tested these samples and they're safe to consume," Sarah reported. "They're not much, but they're nutritious enough to supplement our food supplies." "That's excellent news," Caroline replied, her face showing a trace of relief. "Let's incorporate them into our ration plan. Every little bit helps." As the team worked, the environment continued to challenge them. The air grew thicker with heat, making every breath a laborious effort. Despite this, the human spirit of cooperation never waned. They shared tasks, conserved resources, and supported one another, embodying the very essence of what the Arbiter was measuring: unity under pressure. The Galactic Council watched as these trials unfolded, the narrative of the human delegates expanding from underdogs to exemplary participants. The initial skepticism that had greeted humanity's inclusion in the Extinction Protocol was slowly transforming into respect. Caroline's team continued to bolster their defenses and adapt to their harsh surroundings, demonstrating not only the capability to endure, but also the potential to thrive. This resilience, paired with their innovative solutions to severe challenges, was becoming a significant factor in redefining humanity's role and reputation within the galactic community. As the sun set on another grueling day in the simulation, the team gathered around their new camp, faces weary but resolute, ready for whatever the next phase would bring. The stakes were high, but so was their determination to prove humanity's indispensable value to the galaxy. The morning sun broke over the rugged landscape, casting long shadows across the plateau where Caroline's team had established their base. The challenge of the day was clear: to cope with the enforced scarcity and compromised equipment that tested their resourcefulness to the utmost. Mason's scouting party descended the cliffs with caution, aware that each step could reveal new dangers or vital resources. The terrain below was harsh, dotted with pools of murky water that had to be tested for contaminants before any use. The scattered remains of vegetation and wildlife hinted at possible food sources, but also at the perilous balance of the ecosystem. Back at camp, Caroline oversaw the fortifications while keeping a close watch on the team's morale. The recent sabotage of their air purifier was a severe blow, one that could not be ignored. She discussed with Arjun the possible ways to counteract the reduction in the purifier's efficiency. Drawing on his expertise in sustainable technology, Arjun proposed a dual approach. Firstly, to repair the purifier to its maximum operational capacity, and secondly, to construct a secondary filtration system using materials scavenged from the environment. Sarah, meanwhile, was busy refining the edible paste. Her botanical skills were crucial now more than ever. By enhancing the paste, not only was she improving its nutritional content, but she was also making it more palatable, a small comfort in their dire situation. She experimented with different combinations of local plants, each variation bringing them closer to a sustainable food source. As Mason's party returned, their findings were mixed. They had discovered a small stream, hidden beneath overgrowth and debris, its water relatively clear but needing purification. They had also gathered more plant samples, which Sarah eagerly took to to analyze. The day's work extended into the evening, with the team clustering around the campsite, working under the light of portable lamps. Mason shared the map he had updated with the newly discovered resources, marking potential spots for further exploration. Arjun showed off the improvised repairs and modifications he had made to the air purifier, a testament to human ingenuity under pressure. Dinner was a quiet affair, the team eating the improved paste, which now had hints of natural sweetness thanks to Sarah's adjustments. Caroline took the moment to reinforce the sense of unity and purpose. Every day brings us closer to proving ourselves in this trial, Caroline addressed her team. Our adaptability, our creativity, and our solidarity are being tested. Each challenge we face together. Let's keep pushing forward, relying on each other's strengths and compensating for each other's weaknesses. The next day, as the sun rose, a new challenge was already on the horizon. The Arbiter announced an impending meteorological anomaly, a storm unlike any the team had previously encountered. It would test not just their physical shelter and supplies, but their mental endurance. The team rallied, checking and double-checking their preparations. The shelters were reinforced, the food and water supplies secured and rationed, and everyone prepared mentally for what was to come. The looming storm symbolized the unpredictability of their situation, but also the opportunity to demonstrate their resilience. With each new challenge, the team grew more cohesive and determined, embodying the very essence of what it meant to be human, not just to survive, but to thrive against the odds, turning adversity into opportunity. Each step forward was a testament to their capability, their resolve, and their crucial place within the galaxy's tapestry of life. The looming threat of the final phase hung over Caroline's team like a specter, intensifying their resolve. The Arbiter's chilling announcement marked the beginning of a period where their adaptability, innovation, and cooperation would be tested more severely than ever before. They knew that every decision from here on could mean the difference between survival and collapse. As the sky grew darker, heralding the new trial, the team gathered in their makeshift command center, a fortified area within the industrial facility they had turned into a functional hub. Caroline laid out the map, its surface littered with annotations and potential strategies. Mason, who had been instrumental in scouting and securing the facility, now focused on perimeter security and optimizing the use of the newly discovered resources. The Arbiters calling this an adaptive collapse scenario, Caroline noted, her eyes scanning the group for any signs of hesitation. This means the environment itself could turn against us at any moment. We need to be ready to adapt at a moment's notice. Arjun, whose engineering skills had already proven invaluable, was busy integrating the salvage generator parts into their system. I've boosted the purifier and have rigged an emergency power supply, he reported. It should give us a bit of an edge if the conditions deteriorate further. Sarah, meanwhile, had set up a small lab where she continued her botanical studies. Her ability to derive nutritional supplements from alien flora had already significantly extended their food reserves. I'm testing new plant samples for medicinal properties, she explained. Anything that can bolster our health is critical now. The team's efforts were coordinated and precise, each member playing to their strengths but ready to pivot to new tasks as required. The sense of urgency was palpable, but so was their camaraderie, forged in the fires of shared adversity. As the environmental conditions began to shift, sensors picked up increasing seismic activity and a rapid change in air quality. The ground beneath their feet became unstable, and toxic gases started seeping into their camp. Caroline's decision to centralize their operations near the industrial facility proved prescient. It offered some protection against the environmental onslaught. Mason, leading a small team, quickly sealed off sections of the facility where toxic gases threatened their safe zones. Using materials scavenged earlier, they enhanced the structural integrity of their shelter, turning it into a more robust fortress against the unpredictable elements outside. The challenges imposed by the Arbiter were not just physical. The interspecies cooperation criterion hinted at future complications. Although no other species were present in their immediate environment, the team speculated that the simulation might introduce external variables, perhaps other groups or simulated entities designed to test their diplomatic and cooperative skills. As they prepared for these potential encounters, the team also focused on maximizing their resource use. Every scrap of material, every drop of water, and every bit of energy was accounted for and utilized with maximum efficiency. Their survival depended not only on their physical resources but also on their ability to think several steps ahead, anticipating and mitigating the risks posed by their ever-changing environment. Night fell on the plateau, and the team settled in for a brief rest, aware that the real test was just beginning. The Arbiter's voice echoed once more across the camp, a stark reminder of the gravity of their situation. Survival is not assured. Innovation is mandatory. Cooperation is required. Beneath the starless sky, the team pondered their next moves. Their thoughts were on the immediate challenges, but also on the broader implications of their performance. They were not just fighting for survival, but for humanity's place in the cosmos. Each success and failure in this simulation would resonate far beyond the confines of their temporary refuge, shaping the future interactions and perceptions of humanity among the galaxy's myriad civilizations. This unexpected twist in the simulation tested the humans' capacity for diplomacy and strategic compromise. Integrating the Croth into their camp was not without risk, but Caroline and her team recognized the potential benefits of a diversified skill set, especially under such dire circumstances. As the Croth settled into the human encampment, the initial wariness on both sides gradually gave way to a cautious collaboration. The Croth, with their superior strength and tactical acumen, assisted in reinforcing the camp's defenses, while their knowledge of advanced technologies provided valuable insights into improving the efficiency of the humans' equipment. Caroline took the lead in facilitating the integration, setting up structured interactions to ensure both groups could learn from each other without compromising their respective strengths. Mason, with his keen understanding of logistics, coordinated the joint efforts on the ground, ensuring that the Croth's contributions were effectively utilized without allowing them too much control over critical resources. Sarah, alongside a Croth scientist who had expertise in exotic biochemistries, expanded her research into the local flora. Their collaborative work led to the discovery of new medicinal properties in the plants, which could be used to treat the respiratory issues caused by the toxic gases. This breakthrough not only improved the health conditions within the camp, but also solidified the value of interspecies cooperation, providing a tangible example of what could be achieved together. Arjun and the Croth engineers worked on optimizing the air purifier system. Their combined efforts resulted in a more robust setup that could handle larger volumes of air and filter out a broader spectrum of toxins, significantly improving the livability of the camp. The Arbiter's evaluations became increasingly complex as the simulation progressed, introducing more nuanced challenges that required not just survival instincts, but also diplomatic finesse and ethical considerations. One such challenge involved a disputed resource found near the camp, a vein of minerals that was critical for repairing essential equipment, but was located in a zone that both humans and Croth claimed as their own. The negotiation over the mineral vein was tense, with both sides presenting their arguments and claims. Caroline, demonstrating her leadership and negotiation skills, proposed a joint mining venture where both species would share the resources and the responsibilities equally. After several rounds of discussions, an agreement was reached, setting a precedent for how disputes would be handled going forward. As the days passed, the bond between the humans and the Croth began to strengthen. Shared challenges and successes forged a sense of camaraderie, and the initial suspicion was replaced by a mutual respect. This partnership, however fragile at first, became a testament to the potential of diverse groups working together to overcome adversity. The simulation's final assessments loomed on the horizon, and the team, now more diverse and equipped than ever, prepared to face whatever the Arbiter had in store. The lessons learned from their cooperation with the Croth were invaluable, providing new strategies and perspectives that enhanced their chances of success. In this unprecedented collaboration, Caroline's team demonstrated that humanity's true strength lay not in their individual capabilities, but in their ability to unite with others, to adapt and to innovate collectively. This pivotal moment in the simulation not only marked a significant evolution in their survival strategy, but also underscored a profound message. In the vast, unpredictable cosmos, cooperation might just be the key to thriving amidst chaos. Caroline's eyes met those of her team, reflecting a shared pride and relief that resonated through the observing Galactic Council. This moment was more than a victory. It was a declaration of humanity's potential and their ability to lead in the cosmos. Her handshake with the Croth leader symbolized a new chapter for both species, one built on mutual respect and newfound understanding. In the aftermath, the Council convened to discuss the implications of the simulation's results. The success of the Human-Croth alliance not only challenged existing prejudices, but also highlighted the potential for collaboration across species boundaries. Caroline was invited to speak, her voice steady as she addressed the diverse assembly. "We've learned that the strengths of one can complement the weaknesses of another, and together, we can face challenges none of us could tackle alone," Caroline stated, her message clear and compelling. This simulation wasn't just about survival. It was about demonstrating the potential for unity in diversity. The Croth leader also spoke, his tone more subdued than his species' usual assertive rhetoric. "We have always valued strength and strategy, but this experience has shown us the power of partnership. We are proud to move forward not as rulers, but as allies." The Council's decision was unanimous. Humanity and the Croth would be inducted appointed as key members of a new interstellar coalition tasked with addressing emergent crises across galaxies. This role would involve not only providing direct aid, but also facilitating dialogues between conflicting species and leading research initiatives into sustainable living on volatile planets. Back on Earth, news of the simulation's outcome spread quickly, sparking celebrations and a renewed interest in space exploration and interspecies diplomacy. Caroline became a household name, synonymous with courage and innovative leadership. Universities developed new programs focusing on galactic anthropology and xenotechnology, inspired by the details of the simulation that were released to the public. The impact extended beyond Earth. On Kroth worlds, perceptions of humans shifted from dismissive to respectful, with many young Kroth seeking apprenticeships under human mentors to learn more about technology and diplomacy. The collaboration inspired a series of joint missions, including a high-profile project to stabilize a star system on the verge of collapse, further cementing the Alliance's reputation. As Caroline reflected on the journey, she realized that the simulation had done more than test their ability to survive. It had tested their ability to change the narrative of an entire galaxy. The story of their cooperation, fraught with challenges but triumphant in the end, offered a blueprint for the future interactions among the stars. This turning point was marked not just by the survival of two species, but by the beginning of a galactic renaissance, with humanity at the helm, steering towards a future where the strength of unity could lead to unimaginable advancements and peace. Caroline, once a commander in a simulation, now stood as a leader in a reality where her actions would shape interstellar relations for generations to come. The galaxy watched, eager to see what humanity would inspire next.